Kyrie, you set your first quarter high for the postseason, and then quite a bit more on top of that. What did you see early on to attack that aggressively?
We just had to start off the game with an aggressiveness and just make sure we bring Rudy away from the basket as much as possible. We understand that's Defensive Player of the Year. They got first team, second team, all defensive guys. So as much as we could attack them in transition before they set their defense, which I got a few opportunities to do, got a few N1s to go. So I was feeling good in the first quarter and just settling, where we are. And it's the Western Conference Finals. A lot of anxiety, some nerves. I've been here before, so a little bit more poise on my end, just being able to start the game with the confidence and that aggression,
It seemed like they were really working to take away threes, especially, you guys took 4 corner threes. It's vastly different than what you guys just saw against Oklahoma City. How would you describe kind of the differences of what you're seeing on the offensive end?
They got guys that can cover up a lot of space and do a lot of little things that don't show up in the stat sheet. They contest a lot of shots, and their rotations are pretty quick. So we know we're going against a high-powered offense, but also a high-powered defense, and that's what leads to a lot of their runouts is a lot of turnovers or a lot of live ball turnovers and getting an opportunity to score on us before we set our defense. We're a good defensive team as well, so seeing a lot of chess matches out there, and as long as the team that gets the most stops, gets the offensive rebounds, gets a lot of 50-50 basketballs, does those things, then they'll win.
Kyrie, you talked about having experience at this stage, but it's been a few years for you. What are the ways that you think you've grown between the player who was last in a conference final and now? Is there a difference to your thinking in those two players?
Yeah, absolutely. It was just I was surrounded with some veterans and also had an opportunity to take a bit of a back seat in the leadership role. When you're 24, 23 years old, you feel like you're a leader, but you don't know what it really takes to run an organization or really touch guys. On and off the court, where you give them a lot of confidence and you exude that belief in them. So I've just been learning, reading a lot, failing a lot, and also dealing with the heavy criticism while also being able to be back on this stage and not take it for granted. These moments that I look back on my career where I've taken some pretty, tough losses. I've been able to respond, but haven't been able to get back over that hump, getting past the first round or the second round. So, just being truthful about where I am as a player, and then also knowing that I got to support my guys as best I can. And, it's just a new chapter in my life. I was a young man, and I think that, people were holding on to my words and things and actions that I did then. But I think now, being 32 years old, I've crossed over that mountain a little bit and been able to figure out that basketball is it's a sport I was meant to play. And in order to do that, I got to make other guys better, too. I can't just be out there scoring and worrying about me.
Speaking of being better, Kyrie, Jason said that you guys did not play very well tonight and found a way to win. Is there a benefit to that? Can that be something that benefits you going forward, knowing that you don't have to necessarily play your best game and you can still get it done and find a way to win here?
Yeah, I think J-Kid's right. We didn't play our best game. We had moments throughout the game where we looked a little lackadaisical energy-wise in terms of our rotations, and they got in transition and they hit some big threes that we wanted to take away from them. So we have some correctables. We have some things that we can talk about tomorrow. But the object of this series is to get as many wins as possible, first to 4, while also respecting your opponent, understanding that they're going to give you their best shot in game 2. So we did something great tonight, but we didn't win the series, and we understand that. And we know that they're going to be highly motivated to beat us next game as they were tonight. But it just wasn't their night. It was ours, and we got to continue to do the little things that got us this win tonight.
Yeah, you obviously were rolling in the first half. It was kind of Luka's turn there in the fourth quarter. What did you see from him down the stretch there, and why do you think he was able to get in that kind of rhythm?
I felt like Luka stayed positive, and at times when he reacted to turnovers or passes that didn't go in, didn't convert to baskets for us. I was just reminding him just to keep his head up and realize where we are in the magnitude of this. A lot of guys look to him for emotional stability and emotional strength. We know he's one of the best scorers of all time, really. Now, he's proven it, and when he's going out there and not necessarily playing well offensively in the first half, I know in the second half he's going to be aggressive. And I think we've been able to figure out that 1-2 punch of just playing the point guard role, playing that main scorer's role, and just not lacking in other areas in the basketball game. He can do other things, and I can do other things other than scoring. So when it's his time to score, it's my time to play defense and get up in my guy and contest shots and continue to do the little things that get us wins.
And you've talked about Ant as being one of those kids with no fear.
Yeah.
He's on TNT after Game 7 talking about, I got Kyrie.
Yeah.
What did you think of that matchup and kind of that game within the game?
Yeah, no, as a peer, man, I love that. I love it, man. It's nothing better. When Ant was a little bit younger, I'm sure he was watching me, and when he was in high school, I was watching him. So for me, it's more of those exciting matchups that I look forward to too. Right after the game, it was funny because he said it right then and there, and I think the whole world was looking like, okay, you better know what you're talking about, Ant. And I respect that, and that no fear mentality that he has is why I love him as a competitor and why I love him as a person. But when we're on that court, I know he's going to give it his all. I'm going to give him my all. And at the end of the game, it's all love. And we're in between those lines. He knows what it is, and I know what it is.
Kyrie, I think this for the 6th straight year, there's going to be a new champion.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about how long it's been since you've been to this conference final stage. Do you sense the urgency or opportunity that's in front of you guys, and is that a message that you sort of impart to the guys?
I just talk about not taking things for granted and also understanding the moment that we're in. Again, I've been to the mountaintop. I've succeeded and I've also failed. So I look at this moment as an opportunity to help other guys really settle in and be aware of what comes with this. There's a lot of maturity that comes with this. There's a lot of awareness of strategy. And there are plenty of basketball techniques that you got to be aware of too. So I think it's a combination of us coming together as a young team, me as this veteran leader, and just saying the right things to them where they need to hear in the right spots. And it really takes the off-the-court stuff, the off-the-court little things that we do in order to translate things on the court. That's the makings of a great team. One thing is we go out there and play, we hoop, that's what we do. But off the court, we really support each other. We do the little things. So.
You and Luka are clearly the most experienced players on this roster.
Mm-hmm.
Do you notice the trust level growing from some of your younger teammates to you guys, even throughout the course of the game, that even if things aren't going right, that everybody's sort of staying tight and nobody's really straying?
Yeah. I think we've gotten quite a few tests in these last 2 series where we've lost on the road and we've been able to win on the road. And we've proven to ourselves how to respond to losses, but I think it's the first series where we've been able to start off with a win. Now we got to learn how to deal with this too. We can't be satisfied. The job's not even near finished. So that's what makes this exciting as a competitor, is being able to do it again and knowing that you have to play even harder to get another win.
Luka, what does it mean to come in and take control of the series as far as home court advantage in the first game?
It's big time. We know how tough it is to play in this place, especially against a team like Timberwolves. They have so many weapons, so it's big time to take this win.
What kind of message did you guys send? I mean, they got a tall team, and you came in here tonight and out-rebounded them. 48.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Nice. We improved our rebounding a lot since the trade deadline. So everybody's aggressive on the defensive glass, and we've been getting way better at boxing out on the defensive end.
What did you see from Kyrie in the first half, and how critical was it for him to come out firing like that?
Big time, like I say. He probably would be down 20 if he wouldn't score that many points. So I appreciate him keeping us in the game.
And then fourth quarter, you took over. What got you rolling there? And then also, I wanted to ask you about the couple defensive stops you had there late.
Oh.
The all defensive teams came out. You didn't get a vote. I don't know if you're surprised by that.
I said next year.
So let's start with what got you rolling offensively in the fourth.
I just said to myself, we got to win this game. I got to be way better because 3 quarters I didn't play good. So I just came in the fourth, get to my spot, and led the team to win.
And then you had the steal on McDaniels, and probably the first time in your life you ever broke up a lob. Take us to that.
No, it's not. You didn't see my young
years.
Okay,
first time on a 10-foot rim.
Probably, yeah.
So if you could take us through those couple plays.
Just be active with my hands. Jaden had it going a lot in the whole game. He couldn't miss, basically. So I had to do a little bit better job on him. But that last play, we're trying to just see the scouting what people do. So I just read the game. I like to read the game.
Luka, you guys shot 4 corner threes. It's pretty much the opposite of how Oklahoma City was playing you. It was really sticking to there. How different does it feel? Like, did you feel the amount of space that you had driving into the paint?
I mean, they're known for collapsing the paint, so I think we can do a way better job of shooting the three, getting open looks. I think me and PJ had some open looks, couldn't knock them down, but we made the important ones. Actually, we shot 24% from three. We just got to get more open shots and keep shooting. There's a great shot, and keep moving the ball.
You kind of said you made the important ones. What was it? Just kind of sticking with it in that fourth quarter to get the ones you needed and the ones that mattered?
Yeah, just believe. Stay together. Everybody believes in this team. So, we're there down 4. We stay together and get the win.
And Luka, how much confidence can you gain from that? The fact that you guys did not shoot well from 3, and yet you still won here on the road against a tough team the way you did.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, but that's only one game, so we got to come back and try to play the same way, knock down some shots, and get another win if possible.
Luka, we've seen you and Kyrie put up the kind of points combined that you have many times, but when you guys are scoring like that, how tough are you to beat as a team when you guys have it going like that?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends how we play on defense. I think our defense could be way better. I think we played today good defense, but we can be way better. And then with our pace, we've been last year, our point of view, in the preseason was to move the ball faster, play with pace, and I think we've been doing that fine.
Luka, you talked earlier this postseason, battling through it, about your, quote, Real Madrid DNA. When you're working on these comebacks in a game like tonight, does any of that, youthful training come through in those moments? What is the effect there?
Definitely, once you play there for many years and I won there, so it kind of stays with you. And, sometimes you just remember those beautiful moments when you win and what it means to win.
Luka, it seemed like you guys had a pretty aggressive game plan as far as guarding Anthony tonight. What was the thought process going into it? Was it going to be anybody but him beating us?
No, he's an amazing player. You have to put multiple bodies on him. If he's going one-on-one, it's kind of tough to stop him. He's an amazing player, so I think we did a great job on him. But he's going to come back stronger. We got to be ready for everything, because he's an unbelievable player that needs to see multiple bodies.
More guys.
First time you guys have won a game 1. Little different feeling now going into game 2 now that you got the victory in game 1?
Yeah, but we gotta stay the same way. We can't relax. Now we won game 1. We can't relax. We gotta play with the same mental.
Throughout the playoffs, you faced some pretty aggressive on-ball defenders, and you've effectively snaked into the gap. How important is it for you to be able to snake with contact to get to your spots?
Yeah, it's very important. That's what I said in the fourth quarter. I just trying to get to my spot.
Here we go.
Dereck, in the second half, throughout the whole game, but in the second half in particular, you made a strong defensive impact in the paint. What were you seeing out there that helped you guys get stops?
Just our aggression. Us just trying to be able to throw the first punch in the second half and come out with energy. We know what they're trying to do. We know their spots. And we're just trying to be able to just try to make them uncomfortable and get them out of their comfort.
One of Luka's biggest plays was he broke up a lob pass on defense. Did you teach him that?
Oh, I wish I could teach him that. I turned around and I saw that. So, having someone like Luka that locked in on defensive end, it's amazing. It just gets us out there so we can get our pace and get out there and run.
I know we ask you this all the time. I've asked you this all the time. But what is it like watching Kyrie in the first half when he is in a groove like that?
What do you have, 21? 21 at the end of the first? 24. My apologies.
Yeah.
Just give him the ball and get out the way. In Kyrie we trust. I always say that. But, just being able to see how locked in he was from the jump, it just made everybody else step up to know that, we got to be able to just try our best, do our best at every possession. We might not be perfect, but move on to the next play, be able to learn, just try to be able to get better.
Lots of possessions in this game where Luka was getting 2 to the ball, Kyrie was getting 2 to the ball. You were flashing middle, you were making yourself available. I'm curious, as the season's gone on, what have you learned about those possessions, those opportunities, whether it's finishing, whether it's availability? How are you progressing in terms of that kind of situation?
I would definitely say just finding the right position, finding the right angle, just being able to try to get be able to have Luka to see you so he can get the ball to you, and then just slowing down. You know, whenever I rush, you know, like I did in the end of the fourth quarter, it's a turnover. But whenever I slow down, take my time, read the play, I try to find the right pass, I try to find the right way to get to a bucket. But, you know, it just comes with it came with a lot of reps, a lot of failures to be able to get this far.
I mean, as you're navigating series to series, it feels like these are dramatically different matchups in terms of what they're trying to take away from you guys. How are you feeling in that kind of whiplash going from one 7-game series opponent to another?
You always got to be able to adapt, you know. They're going to change their schemes, they're going to change their coverages, they're going to change their plays. You know, you can't be a robot out there. You got to be able to just adapt out there. You know, there's going to be a lot of things thrown at you at the fly, but you can't be stuck in mud. You got to be able to move your feet, you got to be able to move your eyes and just adapt.
What are you thinking early on in the game when you're sitting there and watching Kyrie just getting one of his grooves?
Wow. Wow. That's what I got to say. You know, he's an amazing player. What he can do with the ball, what he can do without the ball, too. You know, he's a great leader, and he's just a person that we all can lean on. You know, no matter if he's having a good game like this or a bad game, you know, he has the same mentality. He has sometimes even more of a voice on the floor. You know, whenever he gets going like that, he just tries to make everyone around him better, and I think he really does.
How much do you pride yourself on being able to guard multiple guys? You run Anthony Edwards, it seemed pretty early, and then obviously you have to go against Defensive Player of the Year and Rudy Gobert.
Just learning. You know, I feel like whenever I look back at this long season, you know, I remember myself in Abu Dhabi and just remembering just how I felt on the floor, how I viewed the floor, and just how I viewed everything going on, and just being more comfortable with myself, just trusting what I could do, trusting my teammates behind me, and just trusting our game plan. You know, there's a lot of things on the floor that you can't game plan for, you can't scout. You got to be able to react, and you just got to be able to step up to the plate.
Speak. You shot a lot of threes tonight, made a lot of threes. Is that kind of game plan going in, like make them eat from the outside versus there?
You know, it's really just trying to adapt. You know, there's a lot of things that we didn't know if they were going to try to get to the rim. We were trying to cover in the paint, but at the same time, we knew it was an in-to-out game to try to be able to contest shots. And, you know, they were making shots today. So we're going to adapt. We're going to be able to just go back, scout, learn, figure out who's the shooters, figure out where they're shooting from, and try to eliminate that. You know, trying to make each player uncomfortable on the court.
Going back to Abu Dhabi, of course, I talked to you while you were out there. How do you feel your game has developed since then, especially on guys like Gobert and Nas?
You know, it's just been a lot of confidence growing. You know, there's been a lot of times where it's a do-or-die situation. You know, it's either win a game or lose a game. And it's got to come down to either you get in the stop or you're going to let them score on you. You know, are you going to let them get the three up, or are you going to be able to just run them off and make sure that your teammates can rotate behind you? It just really just comes down to, there's been a lot of reps. You know, there's been a lot of things that I've done wrong. There's been a lot of things that I've done right. But it's just trying to be able to just not be a robot and just try to be able to just adapt on the floor. You know, I feel like I keep saying this, but on the floor is where you learn the most. You know, you can practice all you want, but whenever it gets to a game, all that practice goes to a side. You got to be able to have your fundamentals. You got to be able to have what your game plan is in your head and what your job is. And just that's what I try to do. Try to be able to do the best that I can for my job.
You guys finally find yourselves up a game after all the game ones, you know, being behind early. How do you make sure the mindset doesn't change now that you're not chasing?
You know, I definitely say instead of, you know, we had our foot on the gas and now we're trying to go through the floor. You know, we're trying to go through the bottom of the car. You know, we're going to get their best shot 2 days from now. We know that. So we got to be able to just adjust. You know, there's a lot of things there were some mistakes that we made that we can control, and it's just eliminating that. Trying to win possession by possession and play by play.
Dereck, against Oklahoma City, that you can win without Kyrie and Luka doing crazy things. But how nice is it to have them throw up 64?
I'm going to say they both had 30, right? 30 and 33. When you're stuck out there, give them the ball. Get out the way. Just being able to have two offensive masterpieces like them is amazing. You know, I've spent this whole year learning their tempo, what they like, positioning, where in the spots on the floor that they like to go. So I just try to be able to just get them open because, you know, everybody's going to either try to send 1, 2, or 3 at them. So if they're going to throw 2 or 3 at them, I got to be able to make the play. I got to be able to just read the floor. You know, there's going to be times where I get to the bucket. There's going to be times where I pass out to the corner. It's just basketball. You got to be able to just play a game like chess.
Dereck, can you share some thoughts of yours? It's your rookie year, right away, conference finals, and today was a beautiful atmosphere, like of a perfect playoff game. So can you share some
thoughts that you had when you entered the court, and what you just felt during the game?
This environment is just so much different from the regular season, and I could definitely say it was different from each playoff run that we've had. Not playoff run, each team that we've had to go against. They were loud. There were a lot of people talking. The atmosphere, you could feel it. It just makes you just want to play that much harder. You have all these eyes on you. You have all these people trying to talk down on you, talk good things about you. All you can do is control how you play, control how you view things, and control the outcome. Thank y'all.
On the play where Luka blew up the lob to Rudy Gobert, what have you seen from him as a low defender throughout this postseason run?
Yeah, I think it was a heck of a play for Luka, just understanding the tendencies, his basketball IQ, to know what was going to take place there. Heck of a defensive play. We always talk about his offense, but I think this time of the year his defense is definitely has improved. But again, coming up with the rebounds there, we gave up some offensive rebounds, but Luka's defense has stopped there, and then being able to trust on the offensive end. I thought Kai got us off to a great start, and then Luka, picked us up in the second half and made plays, scored the ball, and then found guys. So it was a heck of a road win for us. But Luka again stepping up on the defensive end to help us get the W.
What was Kyrie doing in the first half, Jason, with the 24 points to kind of set the tone?
He was being Kai, just picking his spots, using the different places on the floor to attack. I thought he did a great job of helping everybody relax, on the offensive end, and then I thought defensively he was competing. We had to do a better job of guarding the three-point line, but I thought Kai was big for us in that first half and got us off to a good start, and we were only down 3, and we just felt like we didn't play well.
There was a lot of talk about how tall they were, but you guys beat them on the boards tonight. Just talk about that a little bit.
Oh, we're tall too. Everybody's tall these days. Kai's tall. Look, we have to do a better job of rebounding the ball. We can't give them second or third opportunities, and that would be something that we talk about tomorrow. But we understand that they're crashing. They're sending more than they normally do, so we have to be better at that and recognize that. The physicality is something that we've talked about, all year, of being able to be physical when the shot goes up. So that's an area we got to get better at. But again, to be able to rebound the ball this time of the year is big for any team, and so hopefully we can find a way to do that in game 2.
Pretty quiet by Luka's standards for 3 quarters. Then he went off in the fourth. What did you see that got him rolling in the fourth?
Maybe the rest early. Just understanding we're trying to keep those 2 under 40 minutes, and being able to finish the marathon. It's a series. A lot of times we focus on just one game, but one thing leads to another, and so we had the luxury there to rest him right before halftime, and knowing that the second half was going to be a fight. Hopefully that helped him, give him the opportunity to go there in the fourth and knock down the shots that he has here all season, and then being able just to find the open guy. I thought he did a really good job tonight, and then stepping up to the free throw line and making his free throws.
And you mentioned the three-point line. You guys obviously packed the paint and only got up 4 shots inside the arc. How much is that kind of a, so are you willing to give up 49 threes? Is that a concerning number if you're, packing the paint and taking away that part of the game?
We got to take everything away. That's just coach talk. But seriously, I think when you look at in this league, they're so talented. You're going to give up something. We got to be better at the three-point line. This wasn't up to par. Again, they made a lot of corner threes. We have to be better in our rotations. And then understanding with the threes that they did make there in that first half, no one panicked. There was just a lot of trust, and that's the great thing about our team is everyone trusts each other. No matter how bad or how good we're playing as a group, we continue to keep pushing forward to find a way to win, and we did that this evening.
Jason, you saw Ant get loose in the first 2 series. just defensively, what is your game plan against him? You feel like you have the athletes that can stay in front of him and pack the paint and not sort of give him those straight line drives to the basket?
He's talented. You just got to sometimes hope he misses, and it seemed like tonight he wasn't. He's able to shoot the three off the dribble. He's able to get to the rim. He's able to make plays for his teammates. He had some turnovers there that he normally doesn't have. But again, we're just trying to send as many bodies as we can and make it tough. There's going to be battles where he's going to win some of them, and hopefully we can, win some. And at the end of the day, you just try to make it tough on him, and you tip your hat if he makes a play or if he scores.
I mean, the last time you guys were in the conference finals, you were playing against a team that had won 3 championships to that point. This time you can make the argument you guys are the more experienced team, or your 2 best players are the more experienced players. Do you think that played a part in the poise you guys played with late in the game tonight?
Yeah, we're the underdogs, so we're just gonna embrace that role and play and understand that's what we are, and on the road we got to find a way to win. It's now about adjustments. They're going to make some adjustments. We're going to make some adjustments. And, again, their guys are going to step up. Conley's been in this situation. Gobert's been in this situation. So they have some guys over there that have played and understand it's not just about one game, but it's about the series. And so for us, it's how can we get better for Game 2? Because this is new for us. We don't win Game 1 normally. So we got to go back and see how we did this. But we got to understand what's coming for Game 2, and hopefully we'll be ready.
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Do you really believe you guys are the underdog, or is that coach speak?
That's media speak.
Jason, how much confidence can your team take from not playing well? You're talking about all the things that didn't go well tonight, and you still won this game on the road against a good team the way. Can you use that even to build even more and be ready to go for Game 2?
Yeah, we have no choice. We got a Game 2 here on Friday, and we have to go back and look at the things that hurt us, and we have to be better if we want to win. It's tough to win this time of the year, no matter who you're playing. All 4 teams are good. It's hard to win on the road, but we found ourselves to be able to do that tonight. But we still felt like we didn't play well. But sometimes it's all right not to play well and find a way to win, and that's just the character of this group in that locker room. It's all about winning. It's no one's worried about stats, triple doubles, or who has the most points. It's about the team, and that's what makes this group special.
It seemed like Minnesota came out with a defensive strategy that was almost the exact opposite of what you guys were looking at against Oklahoma City. You guys shot 4 corner threes. That was a big part of the previous series. How different was the approach and how it kind of affected the offensive goals for you guys?
No, we're going to take whatever you give us. We want to promote threes. They took the threes away. When you have that many points in the paint against a team, the number 1 team defensively, we'll take it if that's what you're going to give us. And I thought the group pivot nicely of understanding what was being done on the floor by taking away the threes and taking the layups. I thought Kai was aggressive, being able to get into the paint, and Luka did the same. So again, if that's the way that they're going to play us, then we got to be able to eat up the paint and knock down the twos.
And then on Luka's lob pass breakup, if he can jump that high defensively, does that mean that he has lob dunks and is on the offense? Are you going to be calling him plays?
It's the Luka shoes. It's got to be the Luka shoes. Those are special shoes. Like MJ has special shoes, Luka has special shoes for his vertical. I don't know what he did at the combine for his vertical, but
I don't think he wants us to know.
Well, he'll let it know. Brady did the 40-yard dash. That was known. So when you look at what Luka, but it's just special players make special plays, and a lot of times it's not always on the offensive end.
One more, guys, because Kyrie's ready to come in.
Thanks.
Coach, I know they're like one of the top in defense, but how do you assess how your bigs did on the other end of the ball?
Yeah, I thought the bigs did a good job. There's some areas that we got to get better at, but again, I thought they competed at a high level. Understanding Minnesota's a team that puts a lot of pressure with Gobert setting picks and his ability to roll and catch and finish or play make, and so I thought the bigs, D Live did great, Gaff did great, but there's room to improve.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
and be confident in those shots. So we just got to do more. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.